I took a cell phone and accidentally made myself famous.
Theo E.J created a fake online profile to find out what happens in the life of a white supremacist.
People always ask me, like, how can you go undercover in the alt-right, be a police brutality survivor, an activist, and still not lose hope? The secret is perspective.
Digital troll, you pretty much catfished him.
I became Lucius 25, white supremacist lurker. So if you understand that the resistance principle is going to be against you no matter what you do, you embrace it when you realize that it's there for you to overcome.
For some, the answer is infiltration, going undercover as white supremacists.
I wanted to see if I could create an echo chamber effect in my favor, so a new online account was necessary with a brand new digital footprint. Being a survivor myself of police brutality, and having lost a childhood friend, Alonzo Ashley, at the hands of the police, I had a little something to say about the topic. When I went undercover in the alt-right, I did not think that a TED Talk would come out of it. I didn't think that I'd be speaking across the country at universities and corporations. None of that was in the picture. After a while, your skin gets thickened and you begin to realize this is more about them. This is more about where they are in their consciousness than it is about you. I also began to notice that a few of my trolls actually had brains. That's why it's so necessary to see the world from the perspective of somebody who doesn't like you. All I knew is that I wanted to discover the roots of this new cultural issue that was going on in the country. But when I talk to people, I realize they're looking for the human connection beneath the politics. You know, sometimes we like to denigrate the message because we don't like the messenger. And I'll be like, that's the one that you need to pay attention to. There's a big crime that has been perpetuated against white people, white children. And that is that they've only been told about the good parts of their history, not the bad parts. There's always something to be gleaned, and we can find that middle ground, build bridges. We really actually have a chance, and that's what I am very, very excited to be sharing with everybody. You win anyway, so you don't really lose anything if you actually go down the road. Pay attention to what your enemies are saying. I had the exact same questions when I was confronted with the idea of privilege. And then, a black feminist that I know asked me, she said, Theo, when was the last time you were ever actually afraid of being sexually assaulted? Because of the Me Too movement, men are starting to ask some hard questions of themselves. And me being a black man in America, I didn't think that I had to ask those questions. Our brand of machismo came at the expense of female bodies. And for many of us, them chickens was coming home to roost. Say, you still in a universe, you are a part of this, and so are they. But it turns out that the women in our community have been suffering under this system for a long time. It's all part of a cycle. And I said, be careful where in that cycle you want to begin that blame game, because it will only leave us spinning our wheels. Perhaps the courage to rise above this toxic cycle is a truer test of your manhood than anything you will ever receive from another man. I find that fascinating. I find that interesting. I find it that this is the frontier that we need to be investigating. Therefore, any privilege that comes at your expense is a privilege that I don't want, because no true man is threatened by a woman in her full glory. What I am saying is that we're living in a time when addressing these questions, we have so much access to information and we can address them with such speed that we might actually be able to see some beautiful things transpire in our lifetime if we're willing to have the courage to have those hard conversations. Join the Renaissance in human connection. It is going to happen with or without you. And the doorways to this experience is now and will forever be each other. Thank you.